Hello and welcome to the Mobility Engineering instruction video for the installation of the Carfix Magnet Clasp Belt. First, we're going to go through what you get in the box, how to install it onto the seating position, and then installing an occupant with the harness into the seating position. So firstly, what you'll get in the box, it's going to look something like this. You're going to get the Magnet Clasp Belt with the 3 magnet buttons connected to it, as well as a set of magnet keys so that we can undo those buttons when we're putting the occupant on the harness and onto the vehicle seat. So first we're going to install it onto the vehicle seat. To install it onto the vehicle seat, we'll need a gap between the backrest and the cushion of the seat in here so that we can feed the belt around the wrap around the back of the seat. We'll first undo the harness from the back. There's a clip, as you can see, as so. We undo that clip and the entire magnet clasp belt is opened up. We'll lay the harness first forward and feed the bottom of the belt in through that gap. Once that is fed through, we'll bring the harness over the top of the seat, over the headrest, like so, and come round the back of the seat. Once we're at the back of the seat, we'll then clip the 2 belts together. Now that we're at the back of the seat, we can click the harness buckle together, as so, and now we've completed installation of the harness to the vehicle seating position. The next step is to open the harness up and fit the harness onto the occupant in the vehicle seating position. So now that the harness is fitted to the vehicle seating position, before we can have the occupant be fitted to the harness, we need to remove the 3 magnet buttons from the front of the harness so that it can be opened up. To do that, we need to use the magnet key by pressing on top of the 3 magnet buttons, and then we can remove them, as so. It's always important to also keep the magnet buttons in a safe and secure place so they don't get lost while you're fitting and unfitting. I usually will put them into my pocket. Once the buttons have been undone, we open the harness up by bringing the crutch strap forward and undoing the harness Velcro strap so that it can be opened up like so. Now we can have the occupant come into the vehicle seating position so we can fit the harness on top of them. Once they're seating in position, first the crutch strap will be pulled up so that it's around their waist area, and each side of the harness be pulled through over each arm. First, the 2 top parts will connect together, and there's a Velcro strap in the middle to ensure that once they're fitted, they're secure. And then last, the crutch strap component will come and fit into the 2 bottom pins. Once they're in place, those 3 magnet buttons that we removed need to now be reinstalled onto the 3 positions on the harness. And once they're on, because of their design, they can't be taken back off and they're now securely on the occupant. The final adjustment would be done to ensure that the harness is tight and secure onto the occupant, and that can be done by adjusting the straps at the rear of the vehicle seat if required for a more comfortable fit. The last step in installing the harness is, as always, to ensure the vehicle seat belt is on top and around the client and on top of the harness. The seat belt will come through, installed, and the harness is now successfully installed onto the occupant. So now we're going to go through removal of the harness from the occupant and from the seating position. So the first step is to remove the seat belt, which will unclip. The seat belt can be taken off the client. The next step is, as we've installed it, to remove the 3 magnet buttons. As so. As mentioned, always keep them in a safe and secure location, like your pockets. Once they're undone, this front crutch strap can be brought forward, and the 2 sides of the harness can be undone and removed under each of the arms, and the occupant can now exit the seating position. Once the harness has been taken off the occupant, the easiest way to remove the harness from the vehicle seating position is to reconnect the harness back together, put the magnet buttons back on the harness, and then remove it. So we'll put the harness back into the position it needs to go. Refix the magnet buttons. And then just like putting the harness on, we'll unclip that clip from the back of the seat, and the entire harness can now be removed from the vehicle seating position.